Hey, it's Natalie with the Think Yourself Academy. You know, sometimes when you're in charge, there's a lot of pressure. Everybody's looking up to you and everybody's expecting you to have all the answers. And very often a leadership position means that you have more to take care of than everybody else in your team. And whether your leadership position is as the owner of your own business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you are in a leadership position within an organization. And it doesn't matter in which situation you're in, or maybe you're a mother or a father and you are in charge of your children or of other people in your family that you're helping. It always comes with pressure and stress. And very often, because of that extra pressure, they don't know what we're going through, and we may not always be at our best. And maybe we react in different ways that we regret after, or and we have all the rights to be a lot more stressed because there's so much more on our plate and they have no idea what we're going through. And yet we're supposed to be this cool and collected person all the time and always nice and always, feeling zen. So there's a lot to cope with when you are in a leadership position, and there's a lot more on your plate. So therefore, here are some tips, 3 different tools that you can use, and there's tons and tons more. I'm just focusing on 3 things you can do when this stuff hits the fan, and when all of a sudden you feel like there's way too much on your plate, and then you may not be at your best. At one point you're in a meeting and then there's some pressure, people are not moving as fast as you would like, or there's somebody that's asking a stupid question again, and you would want to be that cool, collected leader, but you're not feeling like this. So the very first thing to do is take a pause. Before you say anything, just say, I will be right back. I will be right back. Just one sec, I'll be right back. And then go find a corner where you can have a moment for yourself to de-escalate, because that means you're in prefrontal cortex overload. That means that somehow you are leading with your emotions right now, and you need to go back to your thinking brain where you are capable of controlling your emotions and really responding with what you know should be the answer of the situation that's going on right now that's making you maybe want to lose your cool. So take a breath, take a pause, extract yourself from the situation for 1 minute, or just say, give me a second to think, and you can just close your eyes. Or sometimes what you can do, and a very good trick that I use with clients when I'm dealing with trauma, look up and visualize your phone number at the top part of the ceiling, and try to give the numbers backward. Try to see your numbers and think about them in your head backwards, or see a sentence written on the wall and try to name all the letters of this sentence backwards. Because when you go into that deep thinking, because you have to really think to try to say your phone number backwards in your head, that's when you de-escalate the prefrontal cortex and you get out an emotional loop. So if you cannot extract yourself to go take a deep breath somewhere, do that trick where you just look up and try to visualize your phone number. Actually do this when I go to funerals, because sometimes it gets so sad and you don't even know the person. You're there because it's the cousin of the cousin of the friend of the neighbor. You don't even know them, but you feel like all emotional because what they're saying is very touching. Well, I go up and I visualize my phone number or full sentences, and I do it backward in my head. So take a pause, find a way to extract yourself from that emotional loop. Second is listen actively. So very often when we are in that state of mind, we are usually tempted to respond with something that might come out of our mouth not really like we would like it to be. So what you can do is listen instead, and just bite your tongue and say, tell me more, just so I understand. Tell me again. Okay, and then recap what they just said. And don't go into what you think yet. It's not important. Just go with listening to the situation. What is going on? Ask everybody to give their opinion on this. And very often, understanding their point of view will de-escalate the feeling that you're in, because usually we don't have all the pieces. And when you find out, oh, okay, that's why they're feeling this way, or they're saying that, and understanding, hearing others will potentially help de-escalating your own state of mind. And the third tip is to ask question and ask them what they would do. What would be the solution? Because there's a limiting belief as a leader that we feel that we have to come up with all the solutions. We have to be the one that say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We feel that everybody's looking up to us and that we're on some sort of a pedestal, and we need to give and make the call and give the solution to people. That's a limiting belief. We don't have to have all the answers. Your job is potentially to extract the solution, or ask who can help, or what do they think about that, and make them feel that they are resourceful and part of the solution. So when you're just about to lose it, just say, okay, this is not really a fun situation that we're in right now. It seems that the stuff is hitting the fan right now. What would you do? What do you think? What do you think we should do about this? Or how do you suggest that I respond to that? So ask people around you, how would they manage this situation? And then give yourself some time to regroup, and you don't have to make a decision right now and then. Very often you can take some time to regroup, and once potentially you've slept on it, maybe you can come back the next day with what you will do about it, because very often it at the end of the day you will be making the call. And yet, if you have taken a pause, taken a breath, if you've listened to everybody else's point of view, and if you ask people, what do you think should be the decision here? Very often, this will be enough for you to be able to think clearly, so that you can make up your own mind with maybe a little bit of each part of the decision of even if it's your child. You can ask them, what do you think I should do about this, if you are the parent? So there's always a way that you can ask. And if you cannot ask them for the solution, ask them for some time. Ask for a deadline and say, okay, when do you really need to hear about this by, and what is my deadline? I will think about it and I'll get back to you. So you can ask them for a solution or ask them for some time. So hopefully these work for you. And yes, you want to be a cool boss and not a stress boss. So use these tricks so that you can remain the cool one.